I'm Eden, and today, I want to speak to your heart. To the part of you that feels like the world kept moving, but you stopped. Maybe retirement came, and instead of peace, you found silence. Not a silence that soothes, but one that weighs. The phone stopped ringing. The doorbell rarely chimes. The calendar is blank more than it used to be. And some days, even your own voice feels like an echo in the empty room. It's not just the quiet around you, it's the stillness inside. But hear this, your story is not over. And this video is here to remind you, you're not alone. You gave so much, your time, your care, your energy. Years of raising families, building careers, showing up for everyone. Now you sit with memories but crave moments. Real, living, breathing moments. You're not selfish for feeling this way. You're human. It's okay to want connection. To want to be seen. Because no matter what society says, value doesn't expire with age. What you carry inside, your wisdom, your kindness, your story matters more now than ever. That silence, it doesn't get the final word. Maybe you've wondered, is this all there is now? That feeling, it's not just yours. It's shared quietly by thousands who smile during the day and cry a little when the night falls. But deep down, there's a spark in you that never died. The part that remembers who you are, the part that longs to feel alive again. And that spark, it's still waiting for your permission to shine. Sometimes we just need someone to say, you still matter. So let me be that someone today. You matter. You are not forgotten. You are needed. Life doesn't stop giving because we turned a certain age. But sometimes we stop expecting. We stop hoping. I want to invite you to hope again. To believe again. Not in the past, but in what still can be. If you're watching this, it's not by accident. There's something in you that wants to rise. Let that part breathe. Let it live. Because while retirement may have brought silence, your heart is still speaking. Let's listen to it together. Some days feel like copies of the one before. You wake up, make your coffee, sit in your usual chair, and stare at the same view outside. The days blend, and the excitement you once knew feels like a distant memory. You used to be needed, busy, surrounded. Now it's just quiet. The kind of quiet that whispers doubt into your mind. Is this what I'm left with? But let me tell you something real. You were never meant to just exist. You were born to feel, to dream, to connect. And that purpose, it never left you. It's okay to admit that the routine feels empty. That sometimes you miss chaos more than calm. Because even in the noise, you felt life moving. Now, it feels like you're watching from the sidelines. But here's the truth. You're not out of the game. The world needs you differently now. Not as someone who rushes, but as someone who anchors. Your presence still holds power. Your words still hold weight. There's a reason you're still breathing. And that reason deserves your curiosity. I met a woman once, 73 years old. Lost her husband after 45 years together. For a while, she thought her life was done. But one day she picked up a paintbrush. I wanted to feel color again, she told me. Now her paintings hang in a local gallery. Not because she wanted fame, but because she remembered she was still capable of beauty. And so are you. Whatever's waiting in your hands, write it, paint it, plant it, speak it. You're not too late. You're right on time for your next beginning. This season doesn't have to be about endings. It can be about rediscovering, reclaiming, rebuilding from everything you already are. And I knows, it's scary to start again, but it's even scarier to reach the end wondering what could have been. So today, just ask yourself, what if there's more? What if I try? You don't need all the answers, just enough courage to believe this isn't the end of your story. It's just a quieter chapter, waiting for your voice. You gave your whole life to others, to your kids, your spouse, your job. And now, when the house is finally still, it hurts. Because stillness isn't always peace. Sometimes it's loneliness in disguise. You sit in your favorite chair, look at the same walls, hear the same clock ticking, and it hits you. Not a memory, not a thought, but a feeling. That deep, invisible ache that says, no one really sees me anymore. And that ache? It's real. It deserves compassion. It deserves your attention. You've become the one who listens, but rarely gets asked how you're doing. The one who remembers birthdays, but gets forgotten on theirs. The one who claps for others while sitting in silence. And maybe people don't mean to overlook you, but it still hurts when they do. That feeling of invisibility, of fading into the background, is something no one prepares us for. But I want you to know something simple and true. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not done. Sometimes healing begins with being reminded that you're still allowed to feel, to be tender, to long for company. You're not needy. You're human. Wanting connection is part of what makes your heart so strong. And if life has left some spaces empty, that just means there's room for new things to grow. New friendships, new laughter, new chapters. It's not too late. It's never too late for light to enter again. So maybe, today, you start small. You smile at a neighbor, call someone you've been missing, or simply sit with yourself and choose not to judge your feelings. Healing doesn't always look big. Sometimes it starts in the quiet choice to believe that joy could return, that purpose can be rediscovered, and that your heart, tired as it might feel, is still capable of deep, powerful love. It's easy to feel forgotten when the world seems obsessed with speed, quick messages, fast responses, new trends, and in all this rushing, the ones who've lived the most get left behind. You might feel like your stories don't matter anymore, like your experiences are too old for anyone to care. But let me ask you this. Since when did wisdom stop being valuable? Since when did living through decades become something to ignore? You are not old news. You are a library of life, still open, still vibrant. Maybe your family is far away. Maybe your friends have dwindled, and the spaces that once held laughter now echo with memories. But do you know what that really means? It means your heart has room again. To love, to reach out, to build something new. I've seen people at 80 form friendships that feel like soulmates. I've seen widowers find love again at 75. These aren't exceptions. These are reminders. It's never too late to connect. The truth is, people are lonely everywhere. Not just you. But someone has to take the first step. A hello in the grocery aisle. A comment on a community post. A small act that says, I still want to live, not just exist. You don't need a crowd, you need connection. And connection doesn't care how many birthdays you've had. It only cares that you show up, heart first. So if you feel like no one's listening, start talking anyway. Share your thoughts. Open your heart. Tell your story. The right people will find their way to you. And when they do, that feeling of belonging will bloom again. Not because the world changed, but because you dared to believe that even now, especially now, you are worthy of new bonds. In a world that celebrates youth and novelty, it's easy to feel like time has passed you by. That you had your moment, and now, you're just watching others live theirs. But here's something the world forgets. You've already walked through storms they haven't even seen yet. You've survived heartbreaks, built dreams from scratch, and held people together when everything was falling apart. That's not something to dismiss. That's something to honor. You are not just someone who was. You are someone who is. Who still carries lessons, stories, and strength that no younger version could hold. You are the roots that hold families steady. The hands that taught others how to love. You don't have to run to keep up, you just have to be. Your presence alone has the power to calm, to teach, to heal. Don't let the world's noise make you forget your quiet value. You've seen things, you've felt things, you've been places in your heart and in the world that many never will. And maybe, somewhere along the way, you thought life was winding down. That this chapter would be quieter, simpler. But instead it feels heavy, lonely, like the world moved on and left you sitting still. But here's the truth. Just because things changed, doesn't mean they ended. You are still here. And if you're still here, there is still more. Purpose doesn't retire. Love doesn't expire. And your spirit? It's stronger than you think. Maybe no one told you this, but second chances don't have an age limit. You can fall in love again, with people, with art, with life. You can discover passions you never had time for before. You can surprise yourself. I've seen it happen. Not in books, in real life. And if it can happen for others, it can happen for you. This next chapter doesn't need to be a slow fade. It can be a gentle rise, a return, a rediscovery. Yes, it takes courage. Yes, it may hurt a little. But anything beautiful usually does. The best parts of life don't ask for perfection. They ask for participation. So say yes. Say yes to trying again. To feeling again. To becoming, not just remembering. And if this message touched something in you, leave a comment below and write, I still have so much to live for. Because you do. And someone, somewhere, needs the exact kind of light you bring. Don't let loneliness define this season. Let hope. Let love. Let you.